Yeah, I do tend to think about music as color, and I think that part of the reason when people have said, "Oh, this record is more accessible," I mean, these are things that people say to me that I kind of, I
go,
can't.
whatever,
I
yeah.
go, okay, I guess so. Maybe
Yeah.
I hope, or that's cool if that's how it hits you. But I think about it in terms of primary color. Like I think it's all very primary color. Like it's pretty majory and like red and elemental.
Is pink a primary color?
Oh, right. I'm sorry, with the visual. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But
I'm thinking
I feel the record has pink. I don't know. I mean, I feel like
I would say, yeah, I prefer Your Love is pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's sort of gauzy and.
Yeah. But you mean bold color,
right?
Like it's a bold. There are direct sweeps and. Well, this makes me want to ask you about the musical arrangement and construction of the songs, because I like the painting or the color analogy, because one thing that happens in your music is that you don't know which instrument is going to be where, like especially the drums on this record, and I know you worked with some amazing drummers, percussionists on this record, but you're often pushing them to the forward or in a different place. They're not just on the bottom. And I wondered about how playing with dynamics and arrangement factor into shaping the scenarios of each song.
Well, it always seems like it's just about the right balance of instruments and being somewhat cognizant of the fact that every bit of instrumentation you use comes with a certain amount of baggage. And I don't mean baggage in a bad way, or let's not say baggage, let's say context. So
Aura,
right, exactly. It brings with it these connotations and this like deep things that deep memories that we have. So on this, I wanted to make sure that it was really groove oriented, but groove kind of like Parliament groove, you know. And I also knew that it wouldn't, because I have the instrument that I have, you know, vocally or whatever, it wouldn't necessarily come across as like genre study if I draw from these things, because
right, you're not singing melismatically.
I'm not singing melismatically. In some ways, because I can't. So you know what I mean? It's just like great. So it's like great. You have these limitations, and that get to become your statement, your voice.
Well, that's art, right? I mean,
I think that some of the best art has come from people really going whole hog for something and totally fucking failing and ending up here. But it's cooler than arriving at what you thought you were going to arrive at.
Yeah, no, that's a friend of mine, Charlie Cronengold, wrote a whole essay about accidents and how accidents and like really messy technical accidents like created feedback or created different aspects of pop music, some of the foundational things, you know. And I wonder for you, like talking about limitation, or when you walk in and you're like, I cannot sing like whoever, Aretha or whatever, but I'm going to walk in and approach this. Is it as if I could, or is it, I know I can't, so sorry, I have a cough.
Well, I think that's again one of the things that comes from having made a number of records now in a fairly short amount of time and been playing music for most of my life, and is not approaching it like, oh, I know I can't do this, but I'll settle for this, but going like, you know what, this is my voice and that's fine, that's good, that it can, as long as I know how to again, like contextualize it musically and make it, you know, something that feels authentic and feels singular, then
compelling.
Then
yeah, no, I didn't mean like I feel bad about it, but more like I'm this shape. I am this kind of shape, and I'm fitting into this kind of hole, and it's an interesting project to figure out how to create a new geometry using what I have in a new context. And I like the fact you talk about the funkiness, because I also wanted to talk about that in relationship to the David Byrne project, which is really funky, but in that Afrofuturist way. And I wonder if that was something you and he talked about or worked on, because of course his music has always incorporated those elements, and he, like you, doesn't seek to mimic or recreate funk music or soul music, but it's embedded.
Yeah. Well, I think he kind of seeks to, but then it falls to the left of the center, and so that's why it's interesting, more interesting, not more interesting than the kind of original, authentic,
Right.
Brazilian music or something. But
Right.
It's a new thing, and that's what makes it David Byrne and
Right.
everything. It's funny, we didn't talk a whole lot about what we were going to do. We said, well, we're going to use a brass band because originally we thought we were just going to play one show at the Housing Works bookstore downtown, and we thought, well, we don't really need a PA. We could have 5 brass players and kind of do a little night of music, and it just ended up being more than that, a lot more than that. But we never had a conversation aside from setting up the parameter of the brass band about what it ought to be. We just started writing and sending ideas back and forth, and a lot of those like kind of Hocketing horn arrangements were just late night, just like in my bedroom, like beep boop pop boop beep.
Yeah.